What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut, and today we're going to be discussing the Justin Williams trade, which occurred back on March 5th, 2009. Now, this trade was between the Los Angeles Kings and the Carolina Hurricanes, and saw the Kings acquire Justin Williams from Carolina in exchange for two assets. So how did this trade work out? First, we will discuss the LA Kings, who got the aforementioned right wing Justin Williams. And Williams, so he didn't do much for the remainder of the 08-09 season. There was only a month. And he had an okay year in the 2009-2010 season. He would score 10 goals to go with 19 assists. Now, he would step up in the 2010-11 season as he would score 22 goals with 35 assists. He had the same stats in the 2011-12 season, and then in the playoffs, he scored 4 goals to go with 11 assists, playing a part as the Kings would win their franchise's first ever Stanley Cup. Now, he had 11 goals with 22 assists in the lockout-shortened 2012-13 season, and then he had another strong season in the 13-14 season, as he would score 19 goals to go with 24 assists. Now, he would really step up his game in the postseason that year, as he would score 9 goals to go with 16 assists en route to another Los Angeles Kings Stanley Cup championship. So he would win the Conn Smythe Trophy as a reward for his talent and great playoff performance. Now, he would score 18 goals to go with 23 assists in the 14-15 season, but after that season, he would walk as a free agent. So he was a pretty good player. He won the Conn Smythe one time, and he was a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. So what did the Carolina Hurricanes get in exchange? So the first asset that they got was center Patrick O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan, he was immediately traded the very next day to the Edmonton Oilers, along with another draft pick, in exchange for left wing Eric Cole and a draft pick. So left wing Eric Cole, he had a solid 2.5-year tenure in Carolina, 2.25-year tenure, in Carolina. He would score 39 goals to go with 44 assists before he walked. He wasn't necessarily a standout player, but he was still pretty good. About 20 goals a season, you can't go wrong with that. Now, they also got 2009 5th-round pick, and with that pick that would become the 131st, they would select right wing Matt Kennedy, and Matt Kennedy never made it past the ECHL. So Carolina also got a 2009 2nd-round pick from the Kings. This would become the 51st overall selection. With that, they would select defenseman Brian Dumoulin. And Dumoulin, so he signs his entry-level deal, and then they end up trading him to the Pittsburgh Penguins along with 2 other assets in exchange for center Jordan Staal. So Jordan Staal, he has been a strong, reliable center since his acquisition for Carolina before the 2012-13 season. Across 583 games up to this point, he does have 121 goals and 206 assists. Now, he has dealt with a couple of concussions, but still, he's a very strong player, and he became the captain of the team in September of 2019. So he definitely has been a great asset for this younger team, and he definitely appears to have at least another year or two where he can be a leader for this young, talented Carolina team. So that's what Carolina and Los Angeles got. What did the 2 secondary teams get? We will start with the Edmonton Oilers. So the first asset that they got was center Patrick O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan, so he had an okay first half year with the team, and then he had a rough second year in Edmonton as he would score 11 goals with 23 assists. That sounds decent, but the problem was he set the franchise record for worst plus-minus differential in a single season with a negative 35. He got waived after the season came to an end. Now, I can't hold that all against him. Obviously, he's not the only player on the ice contributing to that, but still, he's the name in the books. Now, Edmonton also got a 2009 2nd-round pick. This would be the 58th pick. It gets traded away. We will not be discussing that trade. So lastly, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Penguins got 3 assets in exchange for Jordan Staal. The first one that they got was defenseman Brian Dumoulin, and Dumoulin bounced between the AHL and the NHL for a little bit before sticking at the NHL level for the 15-16 season. Now, he has served as a defensive-minded defenseman since his debut for the team. And he has also been in a top 4 role on that defense. He's been a good player, and Pittsburgh really has been happy with him. He has 15 goals to go with 81 assists, as well as recording 535 blocks with 551 hits over 388 games for the Penguins. Nice numbers for a defensive-minded player. Now, lastly, they also got 2 other players, They got center Brandon Suter, and Suter, he was a solid defensive-minded center for 3 years. Now, just because he was good on defense doesn't mean he was bad on offense. He still produced on offense. He scored 45 goals with 33 assists across those 3 years. Now, he ends up getting traded away, and this was discussed in the Ryan Kessler video, which went out a little while back, so definitely check that one out. Normally, I wouldn't advertise it, but lastly, Pittsburgh also got a 2012 first-round pick. This would become the 8th overall pick. With that, they would select defenseman Derek Pouliot. And Pouliot, he underachieved in parts of 3 years with the Penguins, spending most of his time in the AHL. He would only score 2 goals, go with 12 assists over 62 games before he was traded. That trade is not going to be discussed in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was the Justin Williams trade. Obviously, this is one of those trades where really 3 of the 4 teams got themselves some good assets. The Kings got Williams, who's instrumental in them winning 2 Stanley Cups. Carolina, well, yeah, they didn't get much with the first 2. They got Jordan Staal, who's current captain of the team. And Pittsburgh got themselves a very strong defensive-minded player. So you can't go wrong with any of that. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good rest of your day.